Alright, so our next show match is between Depleted and Dreamer, an A-rank best of 5 on a map called Charmander. It's being featured in the 4th season of STPL. Big shout out to Kix for including all new maps in his new season, which some players might like and some players might not.
Go, go, go.
Okay, so top left, Depleted, who does our graphics.
Our Argentinian powerhouse, A-rank Zerg, a 2v2 specialist.
And Dream is a clanmate of mine in Team Ash.
Also an admin from Russian team and from reps.ru. So a well-known Protoss player. My Bratishka is a very cool dude and a very nice player. So
First question
really
is going to be whether he goes with the Forge expand or the Gate expand. But given the probe is going out, I would say this is likely to be a Forge expand, because you often keep the probe back if you want to follow with a Gate. I think Forge expand is fine on a map that you're unfamiliar with. It's a safer way of playing.
So Depleted is opening with an overpool or? Nope.
Nope. Looks like it's going to be a 12-11. Or an 11-10. 11-10 is the better build these days. I'm expecting a 12 Forge here. 11 Forge is fine. Double Scout. That surprises me.
Maybe he's worried about early aggression.
Neither of them have played on this map before, and it does have some interesting qualities, like a double ramp.
In terms of build order, Depleted is in a very good position here. You hate to see a 12-11 as Protoss after you've already placed your Forge. It just makes you, because 12-11 is it's a bad build, because if the Protoss scouts you first, you end up going into like a 12 pool, and the Protoss just gets a free Nexus. They don't have to do any Forge, any gateway, nothing. They just place their Nexus, build a shit ton of probes, they're happy. But in this situation, he's actually had to take 3 probes off of mining and build a Forge, only to find out he's up against an eco build.
I've seen the wall placing like a 12 Nexus, 12 Forge, like random. Is that very unsafe?
12 Nexus, it's map specific. Benzene, you can get away with it. 11 Nexus or 12 Forge, 12 Nexus are the ones you would use on something like Polypoid. But at this point, if he'd seen the 12 hatch first, he wouldn't build a Forge at all. He would have a gateway now. He'd have an assimilator happening, a second pylon, and he'd be able to rush out a core while building Zealots. But instead, he's sitting here with a Forge that he doesn't need. Now he's building a cannon he doesn't need. I don't like that cannon at all. He's got a probe in Depleted space. He can see how many Zerglings there are. He can watch the lava. If you have a probe there, you just watch the lava count as the bonding pool is finishing, and if you see 3 eggs get built at once, then you build a cannon. But cross positions when you haven't seen a single Zergling, this is not what you want to be doing. If you he could be going for like a super quick Corsair, which is what you want to do against the 12-11 opening. But instead, he's playing it like he's playing against an overpool. It's a fundamentally different game against 12-11. The Zerg has so much more money that you can get fucked really hard by a Free Hat Hydra, or if they go into Lair, they're mutually going to be so quick. Like 12-11, if the Zerg gets away with it, it changes the game, and you have to get greedy in response just to try and recover as Protoss. Whereas Dreamer's not doing anything like that. He's
a second extractor isn't that unusual for this matchup? So fast, I mean.
So a second extractor where?
Oh no, he canceled. I thought he was going to build an extractor. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah,
So
we've got like 4 Zerglings on the map, or 2 Zerglings, 2 more coming. Like Depleted's fine. He's just building drones, and he's got free hatcheries. He can make a lot of drones. He's hitting all of his timings.
well,
Whereas,
Depleted is well known for his Muta Micro, since he's a 2v2 player. So he has a very nice. His biggest asset is his unit control. So
in that
let's
case,
see.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's gonna do well, because that Stargate could be done by now, but it isn't. Good. As a Protoss, you can, if you run into 12-11 and they're not making lings, you should be, like, worst case now you already have your forge, which you already had. But even then, you don't build a cannon. You go gateway ASAP. You go pylon for more probes. You go assimilator. The moment the gateway's done, you go core. Full recovery. And we didn't see that. The cannon slowed him down. The zealot slowed him down.
There isn't a spire, right? Which is kind of odd.
Yeah, we're seeing a 4th hatchery and Hydra. I don't dislike it for Zerg. Look at Zerg's drone count. Like, if
Yeah.
there's going to be a 6th hatchery eventually, and then he's just going to start making Hydralisks.
Now he's going to be. He won't have any overlords to build units.
Still making drones, and it's a good call that he's still making drones, because he has a overlord inside Protoss base. He knows that he's not about to get overrun by +1 speed dots. He knows that's not coming.
He knows there's +1 air, so he knows he's going to deal with a lot of Corsairs.
He can build Hydras for those. I think completely fine. And he has money. It doesn't matter to him if he loses 2 overlords. He's got 35 drones across 3 bases. He can lose overlords all day. He can just buy new ones.
What a Protoss should do in this position? You should do Corsairs and Zealot push, or you should take a fast third?
Neither. 8 gate.
A-gate, okay.
He's not going to be able to establish map control and hold a quick bird. There's just no way. He's up against 6-hat Hydra with the economy to back it up. If he pushes out on the map, like, he can push out his map with his speed dots and he can trade them away, but he doesn't have the gateways to replace them if he trades them away. If he pushes out later with some High Templar behind it, he's going to get like 2 good storms, kill a bunch of Hydralisks, and then everything will die, because killing the first 10 Hydralisks for free doesn't matter when there's 30 Hydralisks. It's, you cast your storms, they're amazing storms, they kill like 5 Hydralisks apiece. You still lose. You don't have enough. It's if he doesn't go 8 gate, then I can't see him successfully taking map control.
Can he take like a second forge and try to macro with A-gate and a late third?
Yeah, if you're doing 8 gate, then you might as well, because you're playing into like the late mid game.
So
I would call right now.
Would you throw those Zealots to attack, because you know he has a lot of units and I don't see him being successful? So
no,
do you keep your Zealots at home, or you just throw it away to make some damage?
I think putting them on the map is fine. Like posturing, forcing the to stop making drones is fine. But I mean, he's not getting good value from here. You send them over here just to keep the Zerg honest. If you run in there and the Zerg has nothing, great, you do some damage. But the speedlots are amazing units because they are faster than anything the Zerg has at this point in the game. The advantage of speedlots, especially when they're not accompanied by High Templar or anything, is that you can pick your fights. You only take the good fights. If it's a bad fight for you, then you just run away. And you can do that like throughout the entire mid-game with speedlots. If they're still alive, you just run them around in circles on the map. If Zerg tries to take a 4th, you can attack it. If they bring reinforcements to defend it, you just run away. But like 5 speedlots will very quickly kill a hatchery that's building. But you don't want to just... if he still had them alive, he could just be running them in circles and stop that expansion at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, or even save that forge. He's going to lose the upgrade. So that's...
He's waiting these storms too. if you lose the zealots when you don't have enough when you're not on 8 gateways, what is not just the money that it was sunk in the zealots, it's your gateway production time.
Oh, that DT.
I did not see that. 9 kills.
Whoa. I think no one did.
But even then, look at the drone count. It's still 43 drones. Like, the Zerg was so far ahead that he can lose 10, which is going to be 11. Okay, he can lose 10 workers, and it's not that big a deal.
Well, he must be mad.
Especially if any other race, if you lose that many workers, you're kind of in trouble. But Zerg, you just say, okay, well, I've got 6 hatcheries, I just do a round of drones. You back up to where you were. The only damage is the money.
Well, in this map you have that third that it's in your own base, so maybe.
I did not know that. Is that Minnow only?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, but if you have to destroy a temple, so maybe Dreamer can turtle a little bit. And
yeah, but Minnow only is the PvZ. It's not what he needs.
Where's the closest gas expansion in this map?
I'm assuming it's at 3 o'clock. I think Dream is in a bad position here. I would also love to see some Mutalisks from Depleted, because right now Dreamer's situation is that he has 2 gas, he can't take a 3rd gas. That puts a lot of pressure on what he can do. He can only really do speed lots and High Templar.
Well, he doesn't have a Spire, so...
Yeah, but he could make one. Nobody's stopping him.
Which is odd, because he has he's very well known for his Mutalisk control, so...
I mean, now there's a shuttle bullying him. He really should just make a Spire. Like, you can't let this shit happen. But you've got to pressure the gas of a Protoss. If a Protoss knows all he had to do is fight ground battles, he will only make High Templar and Zealots, and they are very, very efficient units. Like, you can do that all day. I will fight like Hydra Lurker with High Templar and Zealots with no difficulty. That's fine. It's once the mutants get in that you're like, shit, okay, now I have to get either Maelstrom, or I have to get some Corsairs, I have to start building more Dragoons. And all of that takes away from your Storm count. You can't get Muta. It's conceptually bad. Dreamer's playing a style with a massive gap in it that Depleted is not exploiting. Like, you'll often see Zergs not make Mutalisks, but they're not making Mutalisks because the Protoss is playing in a disciplined, honest way where they can kill Mutalisks. If the Protoss isn't doing that, then you've got to make them. It's the threat of Mutalisk keeps the Protoss honest. If you're not gonna threaten them, then the Protoss can just make his Zealots and High Templar.
So Dreamer has a very nice army right now.
He does, but look at the supplies. He's behind 10 workers, and he's not that far bad.
Oh, the Observer.
And look at if we look at the army comp that Dreamer's making, he's not adding more High Templar. He has these High Templar and no more. They're building up energy. But on 2 gas, you cannot build Observers, Dragoons, double upgrades, and High Templar. You especially can't add in Corsairs or anything like that.
Well, he took 6 o'clock, right? So
yeah,
must be
that's
fine.
the gas that's going to change it for him. If he establishes 6 o'clock and holds it, then he's able to build a proper army. But right now, being on 2 gas and trying to make the composition he's trying to make, it's a terrible position for Protoss.
Shouldn't be Dreamer ahead now, since they are at the same amount of expansions, right?
No, Depleted's up by 1. And also, I think Depleted is still ahead. Like, look at that work count. But Depleted is, he's not working to try and take the edge that's out there for him to take. He's not exploiting the fact that Protoss was on 2 gas forever.
Here with the Charmander.
I mean, he's still fine. He's getting his adrenal glands, he's getting melee attack, he's getting range attack, he's getting Carapace. He's building his Spire now, he's got the Defiler Man coming. I think Zerg's got this. But I think Zerg could have done much more in the mid-game than he did.
What unit composition do you think Dreamer should get in this stage of the game?
This is fine, but once the Dark Swarm's done, then Weavers need to start getting added. This is going to become obsolete pretty soon.
Like what you should do, build Archons, build Reavers.
Yeah, just once the Plague start and the Dark Swarm start, the Zealots and Dragoons just
Will melt.
they don't do enough. Like this is the last major use of the army he's got here, assuming that do we have any Defiders getting built?
I'm not seeing any.
And the High Templar are all dead now. That was the High Templar with energy he's been building up this entire game. He now has a third gas, so he can replace some of them, but it's not ideal for him. Again, there's going to be pressure on his gas. Zerg has this. I say Zerg has this, he's up 50 supply. I'm a terrible caster. Like, Dreamer could have left the game at this point and I'd be like, yeah, I think Zerg has the upper hand. It's unlosable. And I think a lot of it did come down to that opening build. Because it gave Depleted so much freedom to get his economy going. Whereas Dreamer didn't have anything really going on. The only thing that he did in the early game was make 6 +1 feedlots and throw them away.
Well, this is very hard for Protoss right now. Because I feel like Lurkers with Swarm are
Protoss can't win. I mean, I know last game I said Protoss couldn't win, and Protoss did twice, but this time, really, Protoss can't win. Zerg was getting triple upgrades. He's got...
how are the upgrades for Zerg and Protoss?
2-2.
That's good.
I would love to see a Plague.
1-1.
But I'm expecting...
2-1.
1-1-2, yeah. Plagues are what destroys the late game Protoss army, and I haven't seen one. I don't know why. He's still doing Hydra Lurker.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, but he's been on Hive for a long time. It's weird that he's not done anything with that.
So I think this is it if he stops this attack.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't imagine this attack getting through. And, yeah, there's no High Templar. He cast like a storm on a single lurker. That storm there didn't kill very many Hydralisks, and there's nothing left. It's...
Yeah. Nice storms, but not enough for our comrade.
No, he lost like 6 High Templar with the push before this one. You've got to shepherd your High Templar. You can't take fights you're going to lose PvZ. Or you can't take them with High Templar. You can throw Zealots away all day, like, because Zealots are fast. You just run them around in circles. But if you take a fight and you bring the High Templar with it, you really do want to win that fight. You want to have the High Templar standing at the end.
Oh, Swarm, Swarm. We need Swarm.
And it doesn't matter. Zerg's on 2k bank.
73 drones. So he likes drones.
But I mean, he built a bunch of hatcheries and Protoss did nothing to stop him. If the Protoss lets you build drones, you build drones. There's no reason not to. Early game, all the Protoss had was 2 cannons and a wall. The only way you can lose to 2 cannons and a wall is if you get all your units and you run to where the wall is and the cannons kill you. If you make Zergling, if you send the Zergling to the cannons are really good. But you can just not do that.
Well, at this stage of the game, I think he can do whatever he wants. He can drop, he can attack with Swarm and Plague.
He can just wait. I mean, Protoss, there's what, 5 mineral patches that the pocket expand. 3 o'clock is not going to win the game.
Well, the issue is that he has like 80 drones, so his army
He's
won't
not
be...
casting Plague ever.
Yeah, so...
He's cast a Plague. Like, there's all these Protoss units stacked up. No, not Swap Plague. That's a Plague. He's...
Or there's a lot of dragoons, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, but if you cast Plague on Dragoons and you have some cracklings, the Dragoons just all die.
But he's making more Hydras. He isn't making that much links.
Which is weird, given he has 3,000 minerals. He can...
There.
It's a Plague, please. Make me so happy. Like, the Protoss army doesn't work at this point in the game. The Protoss army cannot beat late game Zerg, because late game Zerg will just plague everything and then it all dies.
What can a Protoss do to overcome this game? For example, drops, an Arbiter, Reaver,
I mean,
expand.
this game's
Yeah.
fucked. But like generally, late game, Protoss has to be going into Archons, has to be like maybe adding a Darkon for feedback, Reavers, because that's the only way you can counter a Defiler. But if the guy's not using his Defiler, you can just stick on Dragoons and Zealots, even though they shouldn't be working.
Well, I feel like late game for Zerg is very strong.
Yeah, it's incredibly strong. Like, it's... If the Protoss doesn't fuck up, then... so if the Zerg doesn't fuck up and they get to the late game in a good position, Protoss can't win. You can't beat late game Zerg if the execution's there. Even if you get your bases, you can't defend them because it's Plague, Cracklings... It's too efficient.
3-3 upgrades, so he's doing fine. Maybe a drop would be good. Crackling drop with the Filer are devastating if you being caught like.
He can make anything he wants. Doesn't matter. Like, Protoss will eventually mine out, even if he just keeps doing this.
Whoa.
Like, Dreamer should have left. 180 supply to 100 supply.
In Mother Russia, we don't know how to surrender. We fight until the end. But here comes the swarm.
Yeah. There's not even any cannons left, and there's still a swarm. He's trying with those defilers. He's got spirit. He thinks, well, I've got a defiler, I'm going to cast some spells.
Well, he took the bottom left expansion as well.
Oh, when you have 90 drones, then you might as well. He's mined out his main, and his nat's running low. Either he needs to throw away those drones or take some more bases. Please cast a Plague. Oh, too late. Have we seen one Plague yet this game?
Not.
There may have been one and I missed it. Terrible
It's
observer.
the best late game Zerg spell there is.
Yeah.
PvP. That's PvP. And
Well, with
I'm
his
pretty sure he...
minerals.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay!
That's what Dream was waiting for.
Hero. Surprised
Dream
he hasn't
just
made
wanted to
ultras.
make sure that...
The legend.
Okay. Well, now these Zealots are down to 1 HP with 0 armor. I think.
This reminds me like yesterday game between Cryok and Aegyo. Then Aegyo wouldn't leave. It's GG. Well played.
Yeah, I mean, Dreamer didn't execute it badly. Just the strategy he was using wasn't the right strategy. Like, he wasn't like missing his storms, or he wasn't like banking 5k minerals. It's just when you're playing against a 6-out Hydra, you can't be running out with a few speed dots, suiciding them, and then hoping for the best.
Okay, round 2.
Same map?
On Charmander by Minerals. Top left we have Dreamer.
the Russian powerhouse.
If
Calls
I
them
was
the
streamer
Russian
this game, I
Russians.
would do 9-9 gate at natural.
9 gate. Yeah.
Yeah, just 9-9 gate forming a wall at the natural.
But
It looked like the
Depleted,
natural.
yeah, but Depleted is a player who changes a lot, who is trained to change below or play aggressively. So maybe he don't know him, but I wouldn't rely on expecting the same build order this game.
Okay. Well, maybe just pile on the 1-9 gate and just do a gateway expand. It just when they do a 12-11 and they get away with it, this feels bad.
Well, he heard you, I believe, because he hasn't sent his pro out, so maybe it's a 9 gate.
No, his pro's going back. Not a 9 gate. Could be a 10 gate though. I
So
believe
this
it's a 10
is
gate.
game 2 between
I know this is
Dreamer
gonna be a
and
12-12.
Depleted. We have Quark, Casting, and Pato. This is an open cast invite, so hop into our Discord voice channel and feel free to co-cast with us.
I would bet this is going to be a 12 forge, 12 nex, 12 cannon. If I had to guess. Because that's a good build on 4-player maps. I saw Stork use it on Polypoid quite effectively. It's difficult to hold against 9 pool, but it's really good against overpool. You don't need to scout early because you're doing the same thing whatever you scout. 11 next, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're just going straight 11 next. This is going to be fine as well. As long as he places the 4 JSAP.
11-11. Yes, I saw this as well.
Yeah, I prefer the 12-12-12, but this is fine. And the beauty of this build, if I understand it correctly, is that you don't need the second pylon. And if you can skip the second pylon, then that means that you...
You can do a cybernetic earlier,
exactly.
right?
Just the cybernetics Corvash, and then you get the Corsair out quickly. And the Corsair gives you a better idea of what's going on the map, and sets you up to punish them a bit hard.
So anyways, Depleted is open with pool first this game, so
yeah,
maybe
overpool
we can
2 links. This is kind of optimal for Dreamer, honestly. This is the situation Dreamer wants to be in. 11 next into overpool that's a perfectly valid counter build. The Zerg hasn't done anything greedy. The Protoss are going to get away with it, and at the same time, he also got the first scout in, so he doesn't even get punished by having his probe scout be late. I'm assuming. Can we see if he's built a cannon? I'm assuming there should be one, but yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's going into gateway. Do we have a pylon coming in main? No, we don't need it. Never mind. I don't know why I asked. The Nexus was about to finish. So yeah, we're going to see a quick cybernetics core, assuming he doesn't make his zealot.
I think the cybernetic core should be at 3 minutes 28, something like that, in this build order.
Can we see the production view?
Okay, so I'm a magician. Oh, almost the same time.
Cybernetics core is going up. So yeah, this is the build he wants to be doing, and this is going to work well.
Yeah, I saw the wall doing this timing. But the wall with his build, I believe he does a citadel and he skips the Stargate. So it's kind of odd.
I have arrived.
Hello.
So the author of the map is joining us. Welcome, Nils.
Sorry I'm late. How are we doing, gentlemen?
We're doing
on
okay.
game 2. So game 1 went to Depleted. It was PVZ on Chartman.
I don't like the +1 because he doesn't have the gas for it. What's he building now? Okay, Citadel, so he's not building the Stargate at all. That makes sense given the +1, but I don't like it. Because if you get the quick +1 on the ground, then by the time the Stargate finishes, or by the time the core finishes, you only have like 80 gas. So he went for a Citadel once it reached 100. But he's not going to have any Corsairs. He's not going to be able to scout at all. This is risky.
Shout out to my dear friend Lucy, aka Storm Carlin, and thank you for his raid from Rogue Gallery Brood War with 36 people. Thanks a lot for the help, Lucy.
Yeah, I mean this is going to be a powerful +1 speed dot timing because the +1 was early and the Citadel is coming very quickly after the core. I would love to see Depleted just run a Overlord into Dreamer Space though. You should just suicide an Overlord ZVP, I think. There's no reason not to. You get 100 minerals is nothing. Where scouting, there's no second gas. Scouting the gateway count in the main. He would know exactly what's going on. Dreamer is doing nothing to hide his build. This is like cards face up. I'm just going to make some zealots and run them across the map. Why would you not check? With the late second gas too, which still isn't there, we're going to see him really struggle in the mid game when he doesn't have any High Templar. Like he's right now he's not going to get +2 because he has no archives. He can't afford an archives. He's going to be making speed dots and Corsairs, hoping the Corsairs are going to bail him out against the Mutalisks. But once that push is over, once he's done whatever damage he's going to do, if it's not a kill streak, the game isn't over. He then has to try and play a mid game where he has no gas bank. He has to then buy 2 High Templars and Storm. That's 500 gas by itself. It's a difficult position if you don't take that second gas. This has to do a lot of damage.
Zealot's going to bust in here. The drone drill is stopping the Zealots from going in. Drone's going down. Sunken, not finished yet.
Yeah, he was caught completely off guard by this. He should cancel that Sunken. It has more HP if you cancel it. Never mind. Let's build it anyway. I mean, this is going to do good damage, but then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, what's the follow-up? So,
back into the game right here.
He's taking a second gas.
He doesn't take any significant damage other than losing about 5 or 6 drones. I don't know if it was the best trade for as many Zealots that were rushed in there.
No, it's not. I mean, it kept the Muta from killing him as well.
Going to town here at 9 or at 3 o'clock.
It kept the Muta at home, but it's Depleted's going to just replace the drone losses. He's got the hatchery to do so.
He probably got about 8 or 9 drones total there. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, that have to be spent remaking drones, and he can't just mess up his Muta army like he would love to do right now.
At the same time, Protoss can't do anything for a while because the mid game, the Protoss needs to have the mid game comp, and he's just so far away from it.
Muta's going to be pushed back with 3 Corsairs. Protoss might not be able to do anything right this second, but he does have a mineral only that he could jump on behind and potentially get his income a little greater than what it is right now. See Zerg just getting vision of the map, sending Zerglings and Mutas everywhere. 6-hatch Muta from the 6-hatch Zerg.
Yeah, and he hasn't made any attacking units since the last speed dot died. It's
got
gone from
tons of
20
larvae
drones
right
up to
now.
33 drones.
So that Zealot attack is proving to have done enough damage that Zerg is having a hard time macroing up behind this. He has 6 hatcheries, but with so much larva.
Oh, he's only making drones. The 6 hatcheries is he built them. I don't want to say preemptively, but it's.
I think they were building when the attack had happened, and once they had finished, he didn't have the money to support him. But getting his economy back up and running, soon he'll be able to support this.
Yeah, I still like Depleted's position here. It's just it takes so long for Dreamer to get to the mid game comp that he wants from a super late second gas. I would have, if he wanted to do what he did, I would have preferred it had it been if he didn't make that second cannon in his natural. If he'd made another gateway in his natural and had another 2 or 3 more zealots on that push. With,
he only had 4 mutas. He stopped muta production.
Which is great. He didn't need muta production. He wanted to recover his drone count, and he has. He's gone from having 20 drones to having 44 drones. And he hasn't built a single combat unit during that time.
I don't know why those coursers are afraid of 4 mutants, right? It's like
There could
He
be
just didn't want
Scourge
that
just
to happen.
lurking around.
You want the magic number of Corsairs that you can run into Scourge. It's just really sad when you lose Corsairs to Scourge. So, again, I said this last game, but I want to see Zerg putting pressure on his gas. Protoss is on 2 gas. He's taking Mineraloni at the back, but that's not going to help him in terms of getting the army comp he needs. I want to see the Zerg threatening with Mutilis, trying to kill the... try to pick up High Templar.
He's building Scourge, so I believe he will continue to build more Mutas.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I wanted to see him doing, because he's forcing Corsair production.
One High Templar.
He's picking up High Templar. That's the second High Templar he's got with those. Trading Scourge for Corsair, that's fine. He can do that all day.
Are those the initial 4 or 5 mutas that he began with?
I believe so, yeah. He's
I
gotten
mean,
really
that's-
good value from them.
Good value getting off the 2 High Templar, as well as getting the scouting
Yeah.
information, seeing that Protoss is throwing down that 3rd Nexus in the pocket, mineral only in the back.
Well, can we count Protoss' High Templar at the moment, see how many he has overall?
He should have always like 4, right?
Yeah, and they should be banking up energy. He has 1. And that's what I'm talking about with the gas. His forge isn't spinning. Because he's got to get Robo, he's got to get Observatory, he's got to get Dragoon range, he's got to build Dragoons.
Upgrades
He needs
as
his
well.
upgrades. And you can't fit High Templar in that composition. There's no room. There's no gas for it.
See Zerg going to take down the neutral temple in the back, maybe looking to take that 3 mineral only in the back.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I was curious to see how players would really react to that mineral only. If it was valuable enough for them to take it, or if they would rather push out on the map. Zerg has basically reign of the map right now.
Yeah, there was a drone denied at bottom right that was trying to expand there. That was the DT. He should not let 9 o'clock get up. With the army comp he has, Protoss can't actually win any fights. You've got like 1 High Templar on a Dream.
I mean, he's about to be on 4 base Protoss if he gets this 9 o'clock position off, and I'm not sure if Zerg's going to be able to. I mean, he's throwing down a hatchery in the bottom right main, should be finishing soon. Potentially throwing down the mineral only in his base.
I don't know what the 6 hat Hydra is. I should be seeing a shit ton of Hydra tonight. There aren't any.
I mean, he's going straight into 3 cracklings.
Yeah,
with
Keep
Defiler.
production view, and then it keeps going away again, which is annoying because the production view tells you all the things the observer isn't looking at. So I would love it if we could keep that.
Yeah, and we see Crackling is about to finish, and also probably +2.
Yeah,
So upgrades good right now.
and he's getting his consume, so it's a good position for Zerg, but I don't know about the Defilers, just because Defiler is going to win this game if he knows how to cast Plague, and what we saw last game was like 10 minutes of me going, why are there no Plagues? And
well, 50 drones isn't that like too many? Yeah, I don't see so many Zergs building that many drones.
Interesting seeing both players tied at 50 workers.
with this army comp that Protoss has, where he has no Storm, no AoE, all he has is his gateway units, Defiler just ends this game. Like a single Plague on those Zealots and the Cracklings will kill them. A single Dark Swarm and the Dragoons do nothing.
But we see Zerg is just making a lot of drones right now, so his army isn't excessively huge. The swarm has not kicked in, but soon many hatcheries will be macroing hardcore behind this.
He also doesn't have his Hydra upgrade, which is kind of worrying. He's working on it, but he doesn't have it.
Well, you know, I make Hydros when you got a couple Mutas and some Lings and a couple Dreams. Looks like it's going to do some damage here. The Storms, second Storm doesn't do any damage. Certainly is going to take down a couple cannons, but cannons will prove to the defense.
Maybe he can destroy this base. I don't see.
Well, Consume is finished, and with Consume finished, he can hold this forever with some lurkers. But where is the Defiler?
Or the Nidus cannon. He built too many drones. I don't see an army. So
Yeah, but,
it's a big...
but lurkers are fine, but where is the Defiler?
Protoss running in, just running by all the lurkers. No observer in sight.
Oh no, sir!
Midas goes down. No Defiler. It pops. It looks like
no
Protoss has to
observer.
run over the top.
He's had
Oh my
Defiler
God.
tech for so long, and he's finished Consume, and he's
But
not
no.
got a Defiler. Doesn't make sense.
But the
Lurkers are
observer,
these lurkers are getting an amount of damage. Definitely getting their money's worth here. The Zergling's coming down to finish off these dragoons. Oh,
I mean, the lurkers,
nice pull back on the drones.
the lurkers are getting something done, but the lurkers, like the Protoss should be dead. It's
but
It's not over. It's not over till the fat lady sings, they say. And the first defiler coming into sight, dragoons going down, and it looks like Depleted is gonna. I don't know if I'd say hold this off, but he's gonna take this base.
that
Never
defiler
know.
is actually making things
Shooting the
worse.
bottom-
yeah, no, he died.
It made it so much worse. It kept out the lings, and then it died
Yeah, he.
after consuming some extra lings, even though it
Poor
had
thing.
energy.
Yeah.
It was so perfect.
Yep.
Okay, I
It was
see.
the,
I see
the
why.
the imposter in Among Us was that defiler.
And all he needs to do is cast a plague. Does he have plague yet? No, he hasn't researched it.
Well,
Like there's mass dragoon zealot, no AOE, no gas unit.
hold your horses. The Protoss is taking another base with gas, and Depleted lost a main, so maybe we can see an even game right now if he can
Interesting
defend
game.
this.
If he doesn't make any
That's an interesting
defilers,
game right now. Stepping back, who do you think is ahead?
I mean, all Depleted needs to do is make some defilers, and the game's over. But if he doesn't do it, then Dreamer's ahead.
It doesn't look
It-
like Zerg's going to be running over him anytime soon.
Well, do you know what plague does? Because if you know
Oh,
what
what's
plague
that?
does, then you
The
see that
infamous
Protoss army in the
Plague?
bottom. The Protoss army in the bottom
Plague?
left. Those gateway
Plague!
units. They
Plague!
will all
Let me see,
die in
Dreamer
like 2
gonna
seconds.
hold the awesome double ramps, maybe. Interesting position.
Oh no, defiler. This is like watching a Protoss play PvZ with no High Templar. You're just watching it like, okay, you're doing okay. It's kind of impressive how
PvZ
well
with
you're
the
doing
guard.
given the handicap. But can you just... Why are you handicapping? What's... Is this... Did somebody make a bet that he couldn't win?
Maybe he
PvP?
forgot Consume and he's just letting all the energy build up.
No, we saw Consume because he had that defiler that killed a few Zerglings before it died. The one defiler he's made.
He had lots of
I
gas.
tried to rationalize it.
Oh,
I think he just made a bet.
So it looks like Protoss is going to secure the main base at the bottom left, while Zerg is securing the bottom right again with the mineral only behind it. See, 2, 4, 6 bases
Maybe-
soon to be up for Zerg.
yeah, maybe
The
he's
Protoss
defensive mode right now.
I mean, he's giving the Protoss army a lot of respect. The question is why? Because it's a gateway army. You don't need to respect it. You plague it once and it dies.
Well, maybe he doesn't care. He thinks that if he can reach 6 bases, he will
No.
win no matter what.
All I gotta
Yeah.
say is I don't mind watching a late game on this map.
I mean, Zerg's doing pretty well given the
And
handicap.
we see Dwarves coming into the game at 18 minutes and 30 seconds, but Protoss Cell is just straight running through them, ripping and shredding.
Well, that and the Lurkers weren't
Bonga.
under the swarms. It was the Hydras that were under the swarms, and they were shooting Zealots under the swarms.
I love your enthusiasm, Nels.
Cowabunga, man.
It's not clear at this point that he knows what defilers do.
Hardest thing about Ashworld maps is so hard to see lurkers on it.
Especially when you don't have observers.
No, those old servers. What?
He's good at making
He's-
units, though. The Zerg is good at making units and making it hard for himself as well. Playing this game on high difficulty.
And you know, I'm still up in the air to say who's a snowball one way or the other. He hasn't shown that he's going to bring out the brute force of the defilers yet, but he's throwing down more hatcheries and taking more bases.
Yeah, Zerg's definitely ahead. But if Zerg doesn't use the resources he has
I mean,
to win a fight against a gateway army, then
Zerg
Protoss
has
could easily win this.
74 drones. That's half of his supply.
This is a split map situation, and in my record, the Zerg always win in this kind of scenario. So
And look at that Charmander in the middle of the map. Epic.
Welcome, No Toes. I hope you
They're probably
overcome.
going to be used in this battle that is happening. We see a plague coming down.
Lego.
4 dragoons. Okay.
Lego.
I mean, I would have liked it to be on the Zealots, but sure, it's not.
Storms aren't so good when storms are right on top of them with Archons and Zealots underneath. It looks like
Swarms are working against them. Swarms are actually making it harder. The Lurkers aren't under the swarms. The Archons are. He's trying. I'll give him that. He's trying. A few more attempts, and we'll get the plague on the Zealots and the swarm over the Lurkers.
Charmander.
That swarm on the Charmander tail.
So, random fact: this Charmander is actually from
Pokemon.
He has a country of origin?
a Pokemon Red and Blue version, the original Game Boy games.
Copyright not intended. We are sorry.
It's
I'm setting him to Pato.
Yeah. The mastermind behind this is Ox.
He's
click
in South
F5.
America, they can't hurt him.
If you click F5 and go into original mode, you can actually see the Charmander on the minimap. But we see Protoss going to take out the 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, we're taking 12 at the same time. If Photos can take 12 and secure it by building a Robo there and Beavers, then Photos is really far ahead.
Well, he has a better army, to be honest. And
Well, now he does because the Photos has the gas, but for a long time Photos
Frost
only
is-
had Zealots and Dragoons.
Protoss is maxed with 313 upgrades.
There was a window that Zerg missed completely, where you had to plague the Photos army when all he had was Zealots and Dragoons, and then kill bottom left.
So
It's not too late.
75 drones. He only has like 50, like 60 of supply of units.
So 3,000 gas. I mean, it's 3,000 gas as a Zerg. That's weird because gas is your constraint.
And we see Protoss pushing into the second natural of Zerg, being flanked mildly from behind, but it looks like Protoss is gonna do fair damage. One observer still lives. Tons of storms still coming into play. Might be able to take out this hatchery, but I don't know if it was worth it for Protoss to lose his whole army.
Well, this is a very nice trade for the Zerg, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Photos is taking 12. If Photos gets Beavers up at 12,
It's like
then,
he's actually securing 12.
Yeah, if Photos gets Beavers up at 12, then the map split situation is on, and Photos is going to win that.
And it looks like the Protoss has tipped his hat a little forward and said, "Game on, brother."
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Lego.
Zerg missed the
Nice
window.
plague.
That
Lego!
was a nice plague.
Plague.
He's gonna, by the end of this game, I reckon he would have worked out how plague works.
It's the G hockey.
Huh.
But not just how to make it happen, but also what it does.
There's gonna be a depleted versus pork Showmatch.
Yeah, I smell it coming.
I'm not trying to shit talk. Just-
Yeah.
Put
No,
your money where your mouth is. Me boy.
there's a lot he's doing right as well, which is how
No,
he's
no,
still
no.
in this game.
I only heard bad things.
Yeah, I only heard what he's doing wrong, but we see some awesome stuff coming on, getting great damage there. Hydra's being pulled back. Hydra's jumping on. He's forcing a lot of storms that are kind of getting good damage, kind of not, but the
He's
storms are
forcing a
not
lot of
gonna be able to
storms,
come
but
into play
Protoss
for
has
the
the
next
gas
wave.
now. The Protoss can afford to make High Templar. It's forcing storms is fantastic when the Protoss is on 2 gas because they can't replace those storms. You just overwhelm them. When the Protoss has what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas, like you're forcing storms by letting you kill all your units. There's no value to it. He's just going to make more High Templar and have more storms.
Well, we can all agree that Dreamer is pulling a very nice game here.
Yeah, I mean Dreamer's doing everything he can to stay in this.
And he's, for the first time, I believe, up in supply, maybe?
Yeah, Dreamer's ahead for sure.
Protoss is definitely snowballing this game. We see more Reavers coming onto play, which means that Zerg is not going to be able to break any of Protos's bases, even with Swarm and Plague.
Although we did just see a very nice plague. That was 8 Zealots that have just been reduced to 1 HP. Shields are worthless, so that just
Zealots
wasted
getting chased away by 3 Hydras and 3 Zerglings that get
Go on,
stormed.
another plague.
Awesome plague.
Oh,
Yep. He's worked it out. Okay, I'm back on Team Zerg now. Depleted,
Nah,
I
nah.
believe. He's
I believe.
A life for hire.
he's worked out what
hungry.
plague does, and he's gonna just keep plaguing the shit over and over.
Mother Russia won't fall this easy, so
I
And we
don't
see
think
Lurkers
that,
just doing great amounts of damage in the middle of the map while Protoss is running towards the 6 o'clock position. Zerg trying to hold it off, but more units are just gearing that way from both players. Is Zerg going to be able to hold it?
wow,
Protoss
that's
taking the high ground right there.
Zerg units are so strong, so good trades, so easy, so difficult
Protoss
to
on
attack.
top of the
that
drone.
position. Oh, too many lurkers under that swarm.
Gotta be at least 20.
I would like to see the Dreamer just running speed dots towards the natural of Depleted at this point in the game.
Yeah,
There's
you know,
a lot of-
I think the window
Oh,
for
that
Protoss
storm.
being ahead.
Oh, that. Oh!
He's bundling. It looks like Zerg is catching up. I mean, supplies are slowly catching up. I mean, Protoss also has 76 drones. Again, the players are matched with their pro count. See, a
I
huge
would like
play
to
jumping on 3 High Templars in the middle of the map. To pick all 3 of them off without getting any storm. Who
I would
cares?
like to see more chaos from the Protoss. I would like to see him doing storm drops.
Reavers. on the
Reaver.
map.
Well, Weaver, apparently.
Reaver, a singular Reaver. The 2 High Templar in the shuttle, running to the 6 o'clock position. What kind of storm and oh, he's gonna harass the mineral only.
Oh,
He picks
Nice.
him up
Oh.
the Overlord.
Very nice.
so
Oh,
nice,
very
so nice.
Very nice, very nice.
I don't think that Protoss can ever deny 6, which means we're in a split map situation, which means that Protoss needs to be doing damage other ways. Speed shuttle with storms, and I think just again
See
running
the
speed
storms
dots
going to
towards
the
the
6
main.
o'clock position.
That river was abandoned. No
And
storms.
Reaver and the storms not going out. No,
No.
energy in the
No.
High Templar. Oh, 1 Templar, and he gets about 4 or 5 drones. It doesn't really matter right now. The economy for Zerg is pretty strong. Also for the Protoss, it's a split map. Basically even right now for split map, except Protoss hasn't taken the bottom mineral only. I would have to say Protoss is strong as fuck right now. No
Yeah,
Ultras
but he's
in
got to
play
take
yet.
the fights.
We need
gotta-
really need Ultralisk to I think fight against all the Archons that have been in
So
play.
in 9 o'clock, there are a lot of pros that are like bugged. Could it be?
Yeah,
Show
and
me
also I
9
think he could start storming probes anyway. You don't need 76 at this point.
I think there are like bugged probes on 9 o'clock. So poor Dreamer. Oh, that's a lot of lurkers.
Also, I don't like Dreamer's army comp. He's very zealot heavy, and he's not going to get value from those zealots against the Lurkers
Wow.
Plague. I think that making zealots is good, and then you make the zealots, you run them into the Zerg natural at the top right, and you start just causing chaos with them. And then when the zealots die, you free up the supply by building Archons or something like that. You make
looks like-
them, but you trade them away to upgrade your army comp.
Looks like we're gearing up to see a huge engage in the middle of the map soon. Protoss sitting pretty heavy with 2 upgraded Reavers and a strong army in the middle of dodging the first.
No, Protoss loses this 100%. Protoss, there's too many Lurkers and too many zealots.
How many larvae does Zerg have?
There's Lurkers like all over there. You can't really see them on the tile set, but like, the zealots are all already dead. It's
Basically, ghost cloaked lurkers under the ground,
Oh,
doing
Yeah.
mad damage on these Archons. All 5 Archons in the middle of the map, and it looks like Protoss's army just gets wiped up.
Yeah, he did not want to take that fight. That was his army comp wasn't right. You can't. If you
What happened to Protoss 100%, son? And it looks like Zerg running across the map, gearing towards the front of the Protoss. Maybe gonna cut off the 12
Oh.
o'clock position.
No, that was very bad for Zerg.
Oh, I mean,
no, it wasn't. He's
still
got what he
Protoss
needed.
cannot reinforce the 12 o'clock, and they can basically just 8 move. Zerglings to the top. At 12 o'clock has been cut off with one lurker and multiple cannons to defend this, but a swarm is coming into play with units just being rallied across the map. Looks like 12 o'clock is going to go down, and
Yeah,
Zerg
Zerg's
might be tipping the favor in his hat again.
I don't believe there's any world where Protoss wins from here. Like, Protoss has money, but it's he's not going to be able to retake this base.
Split map situation is overgrowing with creep now in the map Charmander, which is based on the map or on the planet Char. Anybody pays attention to StarCraft?
Love the map.
It's actually what I named the map Charmander because
Hate the map maker.
it originally had like neutral creep colonies in the center, so there's like creep everywhere. It was kind of silly. And Protoss pushing in the middle of the map again with Zealots, a handful of High Templars, and a slow Reaver, but it looks like he wants to grab that 12 o'clock again.
It's not the right unit comp. That's the thing. He's making as many units he can as quickly as he can, but they're not the right ones.
I need some more Archons.
Are you in favor of more Dragoons, Bork?
I think that you can make the Zealots, but you can't use the Zealots the way he's using them to take the fights.
Dragoons are really hard at this point in time, especially with Defilers on the map, with Consume. I mean, Swarms shut them down instantly. We see a bunch of drones going down to a storm. More drones going down on top of the choke of this, but all the Protoss units are going to dwindle.
So good storms.
I wasn't sure what the drones were doing because there was no hatchery there, and
There was a hatchery, but they got canceled.
There was.
I'm gonna shut up.
This is a brawl back and forth between these two guys.
It is, but we're not seeing the storm drops. He's given up on doing storm drops with speed shuttles, and we're not seeing Zealots just thrown into situations where they cause the Zerg trouble. You can use like late game speed dots the way Zerg use cracklings. You run them around the map and you cause trouble. It's like an APM tax, and they don't need to kill that much to pay for themselves. At the same time, you're earning gas and you upgrade your army comp over time to make it more High Templar Archon, Reaver heavy. But instead,
Big engage going on here with a lot of Archons on the map again for Protoss, but
it's just not a big army.
Zerg just has too much.
Yeah.
I think in this situation as Zerg, the last blow to Protoss could be just like big drops. This late in Zerg versus Protoss, I like to see drop play, and even if it's just 15 or 20 Zergling cracklings on top of some gateways, they can do a lot of damage. Yeah, let's see
the defense to the bottom left, because it's possible he could just overrun it with Swarm. Yeah, Zerg could win this game whenever he wants. Just place a Swarm on those cannons and send some cracklings. That's the kill
He
stroke.
doesn't have the map hack to know that he just needs to swarm there. There's a lot of focus going on at 12 o'clock, and that 12 o'clock position seems to be the last base that these players are fighting over. Protoss needs to secure it to potentially hold this base, but this is a strong group of units coming out from Protoss. Archons are super tanky with a good amount of High Templars with it. The swarms and hopefully a plague will just push this back.
Hey, can we get a look at the upgrades for Protoss?
It's going to be at least 3-3-2. Okay.
Oh.
3-3-3, awesome.
And for Zerg?
Could be looking after those Zealots better too. Like, you can't just A-move your army around when some of it's...
See a big storm coming off on the Hydras on top of the ramp, but it's like Protoss doesn't really have a
Protoss
lot
is using
of
that cloud, so the Hydras can't get down.
think it's about to, as Tasteless would say, the beginning of the end. Protoss doesn't look like he can really do much. Zerg just completely overpowering everything.
Yeah, it's I don't see a Protoss win here, and it's frustrating to me the bottom left hasn't been secured. Like the Protoss has a base there, but it's not secure. When we looked at it and when you were saying that well, the Protoss needs to secure 12 o'clock, he needs to secure the bases he already has.
Yeah. True.
It's-
At 12 o'clock is definitely splitting the map 50-50. But yeah, he hasn't fully had everything in, but it looks like he is about to mine out in the mineral only in the bottom, and 10 o'clock is also mining out. The natural in the bottom positions probably mining out soon. For Zerg, Zerg is only mining off the mineral only and the 6th and the 12 o'clock position.
Combrade Dreamer said there's a back there where Reavers don't shoot. Maybe.
Beavers
He wants
get pretty picky about their angles.
he wants to shoot about the Sunkens, but for some reason he can't. See? They are like,
So
Yeah.
So it does look like the version they played on. This might have been from a month or so ago before it was totally debugged. I
Tell
definitely
Dreamer
noticed
he
it.
has to make scarabs.
This has an older version, but
I'm sure.
yeah, Reavers are picky.
why are you trolling a fellow Protoss? Why?
And Protoss just getting shut down again. It looks like the game is about to be called. Protoss just can't really do anything. But as I say that, he moves out the force of Archons and Storms to reinforce this army. Zerg's not pushing him back necessarily, but Protoss cannot push forward by any means. He's basically stuck.
Yeah, he can't take 12, and if he can't take 12, he can't win.
Oh, that main is so hard to attack with lurkers.
This, yeah, so the reason I know this is an older version of the map is the 12 and 6 o'clock position have really small entrances. They're a little bit wider in the newer version for STPL.
So sad.
This meant so Zergs can block that third gas off with. Oh, and we see a scout on the map, but Zerg can block that with Lurker Egg.
Scout looks like he's on a mission.
Why would you get a scout?
Why
Because
wouldn't
you
you get a
lost.
scout?
I knew somebody was going to say
Why
that.
wouldn't you?
I didn't
Why
think two
wouldn't
people
you
were
get
gonna
a
say it.
scout?
Where
You
did
need
that
to see
scout
what's
go?
going on.
He didn't even need play. It didn't even need swarm. He could just rush in here and kill it. And you think you could have done this at any point in the last like 15 minutes.
And that's the beginning of the end right there.
That's the end of the end.
Yeah.
That is the end of the beginning.
I love
It was-
Orc's pessimism.
Can I say Zerg Imba? Zerg late
We
game.
missed it, but Zerg also dropped the mineral only. Protoss is down to 0 mining bases. Hence, end of the end.
And it has been proven that Protoss cannot take over Homeworld Char. Zerg will prevail. In Game 2 of the series.
I thought Shakuras was where the Protoss homeworld was. Is
Uh,
that where the DTs are?
Char is the homeworld of Zerg. That's Charmander. Char. And a big storm going off, getting tons of damage off, but doesn't matter. The cannons with a few high Templar.
What about
What?
Storm again? He's forgotten.
Whoa!
There was a brief moment, like 15 minutes ago, where he remembered Defilers existed and they were really good. And now it's back to no Defilers. Wait, no, he's building 3 of them. He ran into some cannons and he was like, shit, I need Defilers.
Yes.
Another scout on the map from
God,
Protoss.
yes.
Silent.
That scout was like, I lived, I saw.
Remember my name.
His name was
I'm
Mojo.
Artanis.
Remember me.
Remember me.
So Zerg now has twice the supply.
Yeah, it's over, sadly.
Yeah, I don't know why he's. I don't know. The storms kind of look like they're having fun, but even so,
Scouts look like they were having fun. And he lifts off his Nexus and starts flying to the corner of the map.
Wow.
He is called.
Dreamer was in a decent position for a lot of that. It was winnable. It wasn't like the first game where I didn't like Dreamer's position at any point in the game. That one there, he was it was an okay position, especially given the lack of the plagues to punish him. Had he integrated Reavers into his late game army sooner, or had he just committed to playing defensively with Speedlots harassing and the Storm Drops, I would have liked it better. And then pushed out with a proper late game army with like 6 Reavers in it. But instead, he had, like at all times, he had 30 Plague Zealots just clogging up supply. And then he takes a fight and they all die right at the start. There's a
Okay.
point late game in PvZ where Speedlots are actually hurting you because they just eat supply. You got to
Game
trade
3.
guard or something.
Going into game number 3 of Depleted versus Dreamer. In the top right position as the red Rojo Zerg, we have Depleted scouting in the wrong direction.
That's sexy Spanish.
And in the bottom right, as Dreamer, as the Verde Protoss
Very good.
coming at you. The ultimate pros, it's Dreamer.
I would like to see another 11 next because I liked that opening last game. I think it was good.
How drunk are
since
you,
we're in
man?
since we're in the early game, I want to bring up some things about this map that were mentioned to me recently. So, you know, it's got the double ramps going into the main base. It's been something that, you know, some players have been, or some people have said that might be a little overpowered one way or another. And so we saw last game, I came in a little late, but it looked like Protoss fast expanded as he's doing now, which kind of like deflects the whole issue of there being a double ramp, right?
Depends if it's a gateway expand. A gateway expand, you have your zealots on the map, and you often have like one zealot on a pro holding the ramp.
Right. And we see a gateway expand coming up from Dreamer, scouting his opponent off the first scout.
I like it. What are we seeing from Depleted? Overpull, I'm thinking.
12 full.
No, that's an overpull.
Don't listen to me. I'm a Protoss player. StarCraft 2.
So this is like a neutral opening. The Zerg should take no excess damage from this. The pro block is nice. And Dream is doing everything he should be doing with the gateway opener.
And the drone scouts that it was gateway first. No nexus behind it. Instantly pulls the drone back, and that quicker mining up.
Question is, are we going to see the Zealot sent across the map? Because we're seeing 4 lanes only.
There goes the Zeli,
If
charging
you delay that
across the
actually
map.
that much, you have to question whether or not it's even worth sending the Zealot, in my opinion, because the only thing the Zerg could have done while you're delaying the hatchery is make things, really. You force them to make extra lings. So if you send the Zealot across the map, all you can do is run into the extra lings you force them to make.
But since
I
we're
like
kind of
it. He's stopped it. This
Since
is
we're
good.
kind of early game, I want to say anyone who's tuning in, if you enjoy what you see, please like and follow the channel. The Think Quick team is hosting a big tournament that's coming up soon. You can read about it on Team Liquid. But we host show matches on this every Friday and Saturday.
We're seeing the game end, so we should probably talk about that.
Yeah.
Dreamer's pushing forward the 2 Zealots was good. I didn't hate it. However, he did need 2 probes as a natural to, and
How
he
much
should
life
have
does that
waited.
hatchery have?
It doesn't matter. It's the hatchery's not going to die to 2 Zealots, whereas Dreamer right now has a gateway opening with a gateway that doesn't work.
I don't know if the game is actually 100% over yet. Unless more Zerglings are ran into Protoss's main. Looks like all the
He's
focus
making
from
6
Zerg
lings
is
right now. He's got his gas coming. I mean, he can make 2 hatchery Zerglings. The Protoss is back
Does
to
he
making
have a forge?
Zealots out of 1 gateway. If you think Protoss is going to win this, I'd like to see how.
Fork
He
has
throws
been
a
here
forge.
before.
He throws a forge down and holds his wall. Pulls some probes, and then he's gonna hold it. Dreamer, my man, come on, fighting. He's
I
pulling
believe.
probes and holding his wall with the forge, folks. Is he gonna hold it?
He can detach the gateway.
Oh, so many
Dreamer,
links.
Dreamer. Two zealots on the map. That's enough to hold this wall off. So the two probes that were
Forge is
two
gonna take
zerglings that were
too long.
behind the wall have died.
Yeah, the
Cannon
two
going
zerglings
down.
behind the wall
Dreamer
dying.
might be able to hold this off.
Not if he runs out like that.
Was that, and
What are you
there's,
doing? What are you
there's
doing? No, Dreamer.
there's all these other links that weren't even there. That like
man.
Zerg had a shit ton of zerglings that aren't in the fight.
Big throws.
All the right things that could have happened, but then one bad thing happens. The zealot is fighting. Is the cannon, and the cannon is gonna finish. Probes
Okay.
pulled off the zergling. Oh! Again, 100%.
Who was
Okay,
talking
then.
earlier saying this is
but
over?
Protoss holds.
I misjudged the situation clearly.
Your casting privileges has been revoked from
All
Dreamer.
right.
I'm
All
just
right.
joking.
All right. Anyway, we see this awesome Protoss throwing down his forge wall with his two zealots, getting his nexus up. Gonna be producing many probes here soon. Not many probes have went down. Probably like 4 or 5 from the
You
Protoss.
lack faith.
But no, the Lair's done. You see, what I missed was the fact that Zerg wasn't trying to kill the Protoss. If he made,
Podcasters.
If he
You
got-
lack faith.
if he got
you
speed
lack
and just
faith.
rallied Zerglings, he would have killed him. But
Two
instead,
zealots pushing into the Zerg's natural. What defense do we have there? We have 4 lings, which is not enough to hold off 2 zealots. Oh, it's
the
gonna be
Spire's on the way.
You are lacking faith. His ID is Ash Dreamer. You gotta dream. You gotta believe. He can do it.
I had a dream.
The reason the Zerg didn't kill him in one way is because the Zerg's killing him in a different way.
Spire
Instead of
may be
getting
started,
speed
but it
and
is
links,
the affordable way finish.
he's got drones and a Spire.
Oh, he's dealing
What?
quite amount of damage there.
Yeah, he's doing more damage than.
I believe. Ash Soñador.
5 kills from the zealot, doing some pressure on the drones. Is he going to be able to pick off another drone? That would be massive.
Yep.
And another zealot comes in
Another
to put more
zealot.
pressure on the drone.
He
Yeah.
gets another one. Nice.
I think one zealot will win in this, but more Zerlings coming to reinforce.
And the
But
Spire
technically,
is
well,
almost done. Like 5 seconds on the Spire.
Oh shit, Spire. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably over.
Yeah, because that's what
But
the
he
Zerg
has
is doing instead of winning the
200
game.
gas. He can pull 2 mutas.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
How many meters do you need? There's no
Can
Stargate.
build 1 cannon and defend this.
2. Yeah, he can build 1 cannon and it'll hold off.
And the cannon and
2
Stargate
meters.
start.
Okay,
Protoss
Dreamer
is
knows what's
going
up.
to be able to hold this off.
One Dragoon and 1 cannon, and he's okay.
Yeah, he could probably hold all these mutas off with 1 Dragoon. Without
Yeah.
range.
Yeah, you can make 2 cannons at the same time and the mutas won't be able to kill it.
This is an interesting, scrappy game. We have game 3 of these guys. You guys play some really good games. Enjoy their games. Well, mutalist move.
What's the score at
1
right now?
mutalist moving across the map. 2 mutas gonna come play around with 1 cannon. Basically gonna get some scouting information off.
I mean, there's mutas in the photo space before the first Corsair's finished as well, which is that's an unusual timing.
2-0 for Depleted. Let's see if he can finish it off, or if Dreamer's going to come
Probe
back.
goes down. Swiftly hitting a second probe. Will it go down? And the Corsair finishes. No second probe goes down. It looks like the mutalisks have been defended temporarily. No more mutas coming on the map. Looks like we're having multiple Zerglings.
We're seeing +1 air armor as well. That's something we haven't seen yet in the series.
+1 air and carapace. Speed is about to finish for Zerglings. +1 attack, air and ground. Also on the way for Protoss. Citadel just started. So if your money was on somebody, who would it be?
Ox.
I don't know about this one because I don't like Depleted's late game. Depleted seems to be pushing towards a late game situation again with his +1 armor. So
So hard to
when you
please,
when
Gorg.
you when you play versus Depleted in your show match, are you gonna try to get it to go into late game?
yeah, I'll just go late game, make a bunch of zealots, and just run them around his defilers, waiting for him to eventually cast swarm over my zealots.
The tactics have been spoiled.
Special tactics like
Depleted
White
gone
Ram.
for the neutral temple in his pocket mineral only in the back. Also, Dreamer taking down that neutral temple. Both players going for the mineral only, looking for the economic boost.
How many gateways are we on for Dreamer? Because we got the second gas, we're building up our upgrades, getting Corsair count, +1. Just the 2, okay then. So we're going to be going for the Nexus and then presumably 10 gates after that.
Looks like Zerg's economy is really taking off right now. Looks the saturation's great in all positions. With the fourth hatchery going down in the mineral only for the Zerg, Protoss looking to throw down his third Nexus here soon, which will really help his Protoss or his Zealot come into play.
His Protossness.
Protossness. And the Zealot doesn't finish the temple all the way.
No,
Oh,
it's just going with the rest of them. +1
Oh
speed ups are
no!
heading out.
And the probe is set attacking that
Fine.
that building. It's going to take forever.
The question is, what value is he going to get with the +1 speed lots? Because what we saw in game 1 is he took a bad fight. The beauty of this
Corsair's Hand of
competition...
Dream coming across the bridge, running into the Zerg.
See, he doesn't need to take this fight. He can just go fishing with the... Oh,
The
no.
Zergs do so much damage, taking down every Corsair.
Yeah, that's huge. There's no upside to taking this fight. He doesn't... He's only got gateways. He can't replace these. They can't be replaced. That's or they can't be replaced anytime soon. That's just complete map control to Zerg. The beauty of speed dots is that you can just
Took
take
down
map control.
a Evolution Shaver and some Zerglings. Money's on Protoss. And well, he took down a hatchery too, which I guess, he got the 400 minerals worth.
It's the issue is he lost the map control. There's a drone heading to top left right now, and he's going to take a hatchery.
Plus map control, he also lost 5 Corsairs. That was
He's
pretty...
also down 20 supply.
Yeah, that's also a factor. But
Corsairs and a Dream.
The speed lots, you don't take fights with them. You run them around in circles. You wait until later. It's only once you've reinforced with Dragoons and High Templar, and 5 minutes after that, at this point, that the
Maybe he thought, he initially saw 2 Sunkens and a small handful of Zerglings and a handful of Mutas. He probably thought he could take the fight, might have looked away and just once the Corsairs went down, it was over from there. Duelists come in and see that Protoss is taking the mineral only. One cannon pushes them back. They're looking really comfortable taking the top left main.
Yeah, Zerg has map control now, and once Zerg has map control, I mean, this guy, he likes his drones. He will macro up.
Will we see Defiler play coming into action this game? Now, I have a hard time with Defiler myself when I play Zerg. I usually just try to let all my minerals and gas build up and just mass ultras eventually. Seems to do a trick once in a while.
Yeah, I do the same. I mean, I was talking about bad Defiler usage, but I know that I could never use Defilers. It's too much effort to consume constantly.
Oh,
It
yeah.
took me so long to figure out how to use a High Templar. Yeah, we see Queens on the map. Did I just see Queens?
No, we're seeing Mutalisk and we're seeing a Greater Spire, which means we're going to see Guardians.
I swear I just saw a Queen.
And that's significant because the Protoss is, again, on 2 gas. His gas is under a lot of pressure.
And the Greater Spire from the Zerg.
Yeah. So if we're forcing Corsairs, which is what we're doing here, then that's limiting the upgrades, it's limiting the High Templar count.
Maybe he'll go for the blind counter to the Greater Spire. Massing scouts again. Last game he made 2 scouts trying to mass up, but he wasn't able to get his force to reckon.
He's got Corsairs right now, but there's a wave of Scourge behind this that we're not seeing. So
And the
these are gonna-
Guardian's coming down to do some damage in the mineral only, just gonna absolutely wreck this.
the
Protoss is
Corsairs are going to run in, and then the Scourge are going to kill all the Corsairs.
Guardians walking right into cannon fire like they normally do. Dumbasses.
It takes about
Yes.
2 Guardian
You
shots to kill a
can't
king.
leave Guardians alone. Just don't.
And the Scourge are on the move. We can see him. One down.
White Singer goes down.
Hell yeah.
And again, Photos doesn't have the gas for this. He can't be losing Corsairs because he can't replace them.
What's the score right now?
A 2-0.
1-1? 12.
Yeah, it's about to be 3-0.
See the Ultra Corsair with his 5 damage doing mad amounts of damage on these 3 armored Guardians. With a couple Dragoons coming to support. Like all those drones or probes just went down. Scourge.
Wait, did he just attack move the Scourge onto a Guardian?
Sure looks like it.
Pretty sure he did.
Corsair runs into the Scourge, ending his life suicidally. And Zerg is just taking over the map. So much red on the map.
Yeah.
So much
Oop.
green.
We have a Defiler. Let's see what happens. He's got energy.
Team-Minute Defiler coming in with a big storm, taking down quite a bit of Zerglings.
Do we have Plague? No, Plague is only half research, so the only thing you can do here is Swarm. Which I mean, there's a lot of high tempo.
Okay, 2 Lurkers running in.
It looks like the Swarm might have been a little bit late there. There we go.
And no GG is called from Dreamer.
Rude.
Zerg Swarm just takes over the Protoss again. R is the homeworld of Zerg Frames.
That was awesome.
Also, there was a lot of good play by Dreamer there that I wasn't calling out because I just focused on the bad. But like his macro was solid throughout. There's nothing wrong with micro. It was. I think the main thing that happened in that third game was just taking so much damage at the start because the links got in.
Also instantly losing those 5 Corsairs, just that was it from there. You have one Stargate to mass up some Sairs, and if they're thrown away like that, it's
Yeah, I agree.
it's hard to come back. Corsairs are very, very important, and they're very fragile units.
But by the same token, I don't know that he would have been doing that attack if he wasn't feeling like he was behind. That attack, I think, wasn't like a strategic play. That was a frustration play.
Had the Scourge not been there, I could see that the Protoss would have done a bit more damage. Absolutely, he focus fired the Evolution Chamber and the hatchery there. If those Corsair, or if the Scourge didn't come and wipe those Corsairs out, the Mutalisk wouldn't have been there in play, and those Zealots would have just had a day, haymaker. So, I mean, as frustrating as it is being a Protoss, to lose there's a handful of Corsairs like that, especially when there's just a group of Scourges waiting by. I don't think that attack was extremely uncalled for. I think he might have got caught off guard by the group of Scourge. It's not something I would assume that somebody's waiting for when I'm running in with +1 Zealots and a handful of Corsairs.
No, but you run away once you see there's a wall because you only have the 2 gateways. This isn't a play that's ever going to overwhelm the Zerg. Your 2 gateways are never going to just like smash through the 5 hatcheries.
It's not about ending the game right there, I don't think.
Yeah. But when you start attacking the Evo and the hatchery, that's I'm going to kill you with these speed dots play.
Or you get your money's worth. But anyway, yeah.
I want to thank my co-casters. Those were wonderful games. Big shout out to Quark, Pato, Mapmaker Minerals, Bernie, Why You Suck. We got some other people who joined the Opencast channel. it can sound a little chaotic, but I think having an open invite is kind of cool and it feels like a little party. So hopefully we can all like learn to take turns and works out. So just
Was
I was told this was a party.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.